Guys, in today's video we're going to talk about Pan, who wants to be as strong as her father. Will she be able to? And for that, she will have to ask permission from Gohan and Videl. Will they let Pan train with the angel Whis and Piccolo? Well, let's see this together in this epic story, but first leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Have you already done that? So let's start. On planet Earth, Pan was at home, restless, reflecting on the battles she had witnessed. The memory of her encounter with Red Ribbon was still fresh, and the image of her father Gohan in his powerful beast form fueled a growing desire in her heart. She wanted to become stronger. One day, while visiting Bulma's house, Pan saw an opportunity. Beerus, the god of destruction, was there, enjoying a feast prepared by Bulma. Pan knew this was her chance to ask for help. She approached. Pan, with a firm voice, said, "Sir Beerus, I would like you to train me to become stronger." Beerus, while chewing on a piece of juicy meat, looked at her curiously. "You? A kid wanting to train with me?" Beerus said, laughing, almost choking. No, you're still too young. Go talk to Whis. He might see some value in you." Pan was disappointed, but she didn't give up. She knew Whis was the key. She found the angel not far away, watching the scene with her serene smile. Pan said, "Whis, could you train me? I want to be strong like my father, and I don't want to depend on others to protect me." Pan said with hope in his eyes. Whis said, "You are Gohan's daughter, right? I trained your grandfather Goku, and he proved to be a remarkable student. I have no problem training you, but we have some conditions. First, I need to finish my meal. And second, you need permission from your parents, Gohan and Videl," said Whis, who raised his finger, emphasizing his seriousness. Pan said, "I'll get their permission. Thank you, Mr. Whis." A few minutes later at Pan's house. Arriving home, Pan found her parents in the living room. Gohan was reading a book while Videl was preparing dinner. Pan took a deep breath and began, "Father, Mother, I have a request." Gohan said, "What's wrong, Pan?" said the Saiyan, who looked up from the book, curious. Pan said, "I want to train with Whis. I want to be strong like you, Dad. Ever since that day with Red Ribbon, I can't forget how dangerous it was. And seeing your transformation to beast form has inspired me. I want to achieve my own transformation and protect those I love," Pan said, trying to control the emotion in her voice. Gohan put the book aside and looked deeply into his daughter's eyes and said, "Pan, you know this is a big step. Training with Whis is no joke. You're just a kid." Pan replied, "I know, Father, but I need to do this. I don't want to live in fear. And besides, you said yourself that you're not a pure Saiyan, but you managed to transform. Why couldn't I?" Gohan sighed, understanding the seriousness of his daughter's wish. He looked at Videl, who just smiled, showing her support. Gohan said, "All right, Pan, if that's really what you want, I'll allow it, but promise me you'll be careful and follow all of Whis' instructions." Pan said, "Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mom. I promise I'll try my best and be careful," said the young Saiyan, who jumped with joy, hugging her father and mother. The next day, Pan was ready to leave with Whis. Gohan, despite being reluctant, was confident in the angel's training. Gohan spoke, "Whis, please take good care of my daughter." Whis replied, "Don't worry, Gohan, she's in good hands," said the angel with his characteristic smile. With that, Whis, Pan, and Beerus left for the God of Destruction's planet. On the planet of the God of Destruction, Pan was amazed by the stunning landscape and the aura of power that permeated the place. Whis and Beerus were imposing figures, and she felt butterflies in her stomach at the thought of what was to come. Whis spoke, "Well, Pan, before we begin training, we need to assess your current abilities. Show me what you know." Pan took a deep breath, preparing herself. She began to perform a series of strikes and moves that she had learned from her father and Piccolo. Whis watched closely, evaluating every movement with critical but gentle eyes. Whis said, "Pan, you have a good foundation, but there is a lot of room for improvement. Now let's start the serious training." Beerus, who was lying on a rock watching with disinterest, finally became interested. Beerus thought, "Let's see what this kid is capable of." Pan's training began intensely. Whis made her repeat basic movements until they were perfect, correcting her posture and technique with each step. Pan felt tired, but her resolve never wavered. She was determined to become strong. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Pan continued to train tirelessly under Whis' tutelage. Beerus, despite his aloof demeanor, occasionally offered valuable advice, although it was often disguised as criticism. Beerus spoke, "Hey Pan, you'll never transform if you keep going like this. It seems like you're just joking." Whis said, "Pan, have you ever managed to transform into a Super Saiyan?" Pan, breathing deeply, replied, "Never, Whis. I haven't achieved that form yet." Whis said, I see. To speed up your progress, I will use my staff to manipulate time. This will give us the advantage we need to awaken your true potential more quickly. Whis raised his staff and with one elegant movement, made time around them speed up. The clouds moved faster, the leaves on the trees danced in a frenetic rhythm, and the entire environment seemed to vibrate with intense energy. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, Videl and Gohan were restless. Pan's training with Whis was a constant source of worry for them. They knew Whis was an extraordinary mentor, but what would he demand of Pan? Gohan spoke. I hope Pan is okay. She hasn't managed to transform into a Super Saiyan yet, and now she's training with Whis. That worries me. Videl, trying to calm her husband, replied, Gohan, Pan is strong. She has the fighting spirit of the Saiyans. She told us not to worry, and I believe her. Gohan sighed, remembering his daughter and DC's words. She wants to be strong like my beast form, but she still doesn't even know how to activate Super Saiyan. Are we expecting too much from her? Videl said, trust in Pan. She has her potential, and I'm sure everything will work out. Back on the God of Destruction's planet, Pan was trying her best. Every strike, every movement was imbued with fierce determination. The accelerated time allowed her to train intensely in just a few days. Whis watched her every move carefully, offering advice and corrections when necessary. Whis spoke, very well, Pan. Stay focused. Feel the energy within you. Super Saiyan is not just about physical strength, but also about emotional control. Pan, sweating and panting, said, I'm trying, Whis. It's hard, but I won't give up. Whis replied, I know you won't. Now focus. Visualize the transformation, feel the power within you, and let it flow. Days passed, or at least it seemed so, due to the manipulation of time. Pan was exhausted, but her determination didn't waver. Then, in a moment of intense concentration and effort, she felt a burst of energy within her. Her eyes opened, and her hair began to glow an intense gold. She had finally transformed into a Super Saiyan. Beerus, who was resting, felt a great energy. He stood up and watched the transformation with interest. Beerus spoke, Finally, looks like she made it. Whis smiled, pleased with Pan's progress, and said, yes, she did it. Good job, Pan. She really is Gohan's daughter. She has a lot of determination. Pan, now in his Super Saiyan form, was beaming with happiness and pride. Pan spoke, I did it! Finally, I did it! Whis replied, yes, but this is just the beginning. The next step will be more difficult. You want to be strong like your father, don't you? You will need to unleash your hidden power. Beerus said, releasing your hidden power is a huge challenge, Pan. Who knows, you might be able to activate a divine form like Super Saiyan God. You must be prepared to face difficulties, as they will be enormous. Pan, determined, said, I'm ready. I want to achieve this transformation. I'll do whatever it takes. On the planet of the God of Destruction, Whis closely watched Pan during his training. Although she had made impressive progress, he could tell something was missing. To fully unlock Pan's potential, she needed extra motivation, something that connected her deeply to her own power. With this idea in mind, Whis decided to seek help. Whis spoke, Pan, I need to go on a little trip. I'm going to bring you a surprise. In the meantime, keep training with Beerus. Pan, curious, asked, a surprise? Who could it be? Whis replied, you'll see soon enough. Trust me and continue your training. Beerus, take care of her while I'm gone. Beerus nodded as he watched Whis use his cube to quickly travel to Earth. Within moments, Whis was on planet Earth in front of Piccolo, who was meditating in the forest. Piccolo opened his eyes when he felt Whis' presence and stood up, intrigued, and said, Whis, what are you doing here? Whis spoke, I need your help, Piccolo. Pan is progressing well in her training, but I believe you can provide the extra motivation she needs. Piccolo replied, me? How exactly can I help? You're a better master than I am. Whis explained, Pan has unique potential. Remember when Goku turned into Super Saiyan God for the first time? Pan, as a baby, was in Videl's belly and felt the power of a god. She just needs to rediscover that power within her, and I believe your bond with her could be the key. Piccolo pondered for a moment and finally replied, I see. If it helps Pan reach her true potential, I'm in. Whis used his cube again. In the blink of an eye, they were back on Beerus' planet. Pan, who was training intensely with Beerus, stopped when she sensed Whis and Piccolo's arrival. Pam, surprised and happy, said, Piccolo, you're here! Piccolo replied with a slight smile, yes, Pan, I'm here to help you achieve a new form. Whis said, Piccolo will be an additional mentor for you, Pan. He will help us find your hidden power. You may not remember, but when you were still just a baby inside your mother's belly, you already felt the power of God. Piccolo, understanding the importance of his presence. He approached Pan and placed his hand on his shoulder and said, let's work together, Pan. I'll help you find that power. Pan, determined, said, "Thank you, Piccolo. I'm ready to train with you." The two began training intensely. Piccolo was a demanding but fair mentor. He had known Pan since she was little and knew exactly how to motivate her and push her beyond her limits. Piccolo spoke, "Pan, focus! You need to feel the energy within you. It's not just about physical strength, it's about control and balance." Pan, sweating and panting, replied, "I'm trying, Piccolo. I feel the energy, but I can't quite reach it." Piccolo, with an encouraging tone, said, "You can do it, Pan. Remember what we said. You felt this power before. It's inside you, waiting to be released." The training continued, and Pan felt more motivated every day. Piccolo constantly challenged her, creating scenarios that forced her to tap into her inner strength. Meanwhile, Whis and Beerus watched, impressed by her progress. Whis spoke, "Piccolo is doing an incredible job. Pan is getting closer and closer to reaching her true potential." Beerus, nodding, said, "She has the determination of Saiyans. With the right guidance, she can achieve anything." One night, after an exhausting day of training, Piccolo and Pan were sitting by a lake recovering their energy. Piccolo spoke, "Pam, remember what we are working on. The divine power is within you. You need to believe in it and let it flow." Pan, looking at the moon, said, "I know, Piccolo. I'm trying, I really do. But sometimes I feel like I'm not strong enough." Piccolo, with a firm look in his eyes, replied, "You are strong, Pan. Never doubt that. Believe in yourself like I believe in you." These words touched Pan's heart deeply. She felt renewed and determined to achieve what seemed impossible. In the following days, training became even more intense. Piccolo not only trained her physical strength, but also guided her in deep meditations, helping her connect with her inner power. Whis watched with a satisfied look. Pan is truly making progress. She is closer than ever to unlocking her divine power. Finally, on a particularly intense training day, something changed. Pan was facing Piccolo in rigorous combat. Their auras glowed brightly as they exchanged quick and precise blows. Suddenly, Pan felt a surge of energy within her, more powerful than anything she had ever felt before. Piccolo, noticing the change, spoke, "Pam, now let that energy flow!" Pan screamed, releasing all the accumulated energy. Her body glowed brightly, and she felt a transformation happening. Her hair turned red. There was a red aura like fire. Pan at that moment had achieved his divine transformation. Whis said, "Amazing, Pan did it." Beerus, impressed, said, "She really did it. Impressive." Pam, panting but beaming, looked at Piccolo and Whis and said, "I did it. I finally did it." Piccolo, with a satisfied smile, spoke, "I'm proud of you, Pan. You found the power within you." Whis, approaching, said, "Excellent work, Pan. You have achieved a divine form. But remember, this is just the beginning. There is always more to learn and conquer." Pan, her eyes shining with determination, replied, "I know, Whis. I'm ready to continue my training and reach new heights." Whis spoke, "Pan, Beerus, Piccolo, I think it's time for us to go to Earth. Your family deserves to know about your progress." Pan, with a bright smile, replied, "Yes, Whis. I can't wait to show my dad and mom." Beerus, standing up lazily, commented, "Finally, a break from this incessant training. I hope there is good food on Earth." Piccolo, with a slight smile, said, "Let's bring this joy to your family, Pan." Whis used his cube again. Within moments, they were back on planet Earth. Videl and Gohan were outside the house, eager for Pan's return. They felt the distinct energy of Whis and the others approaching. Gohan, visibly nervous, said, "Videl, I think they're coming. I feel energy from Whis and Piccolo." Videl, holding Gohan's hand, replied, "Yes, I feel it too. I'm so excited to see our daughter." Whis landed softly in the yard, accompanied by Pan, Beerus, and Piccolo. Videl and Gohan rushed to greet them, their faces full of expectation and excitement. Gohan, hugging Pan tightly, said, "Pan, you're back! How was training?" Videl, with tears in her eyes, said, "We're so proud of you, sweetheart." Whis, with a smile, spoke, "Pan, why don't you show them what you learned?" Pan, excited, replied, "Of course, Whis." She took a step back and closed her eyes, concentrating. In an instant, her hair turned golden and her aura shone brightly. She had transformed into a Super Saiyan. Gohan, amazed, said, "Pan, you managed to transform into a Super Saiyan. That's incredible." He rushed to hug her again, but the moment he did, Pan smiled and with a cry activated her divine form. Her golden hair now glowed with a red aura, and her presence became even more powerful. Gohan, caught off guard by the energy blast, fell backwards off balance. Piccolo, laughing, said, "Looks like Gohan wasn't prepared for that." Beerus, laughing too, said, "That was a nice surprise." Whis, smiling, commented, "You really caught him off guard, Pan." Pan, laughing, said, "Sorry, Dad. I wanted to show you what I've achieved. Gohan, standing up and rubbing his head, spoke, "I'm impressed, Pan, but how did you manage to achieve this divine form?" Whis replied, "It's a long story, Gohan. When Goku transformed into a Super Saiyan God for the first time, Pam was still in Videl's belly. She already felt the power of a god back then. That power was inside her, waiting to be awakened." Videl, remembering that day, said, "I remember that moment. It was an incredible experience to feel that energy." Gohan, eyes full of pride, said, "So Pan has always had this potential within her. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you, daughter." Pan, with tears of joy in her eyes, spoke, "Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mom. I couldn't have done this without the help of Whis, Piccolo, and Beerus." Whis spoke. Pan showed incredible determination. She overcame every challenge and found the power within herself. Piccolo said, "She is a true warrior. I am very proud to have helped with her training." Beerus, with a pleased smile, spoke, "She certainly brought some fun to our routine." Gohan and Videl hugged Pan, feeling prouder than ever. They knew that Pan had a bright future ahead of her, full of adventures and achievements. The family was together again. Whis, observing the scene, spoke, "Now that you are together again, Pan can continue to train and grow. I'm sure she will achieve even more remarkable feats in the future." Videl, with a smile, replied, "Thank you, Whis, for everything you've done for our daughter." Gohan, looking at Pan proudly, said, "Yes, thank you very much, Whis. Pan, you have made us very proud." Pan, feeling loved and supported, said, "I'll keep training and getting stronger, I promise." And so, the story of Pan, Whis, Piccolo, and Beerus came to a happy end. Pan had achieved a divine transformation, showing her incredible potential and the strength of the family bond. With the support of her family and her mentors, she was ready to face whatever challenges the future brought. Guys, and this is how we end our story. What did you think of Pam training with Piccolo? It was an epic training session, wasn't it? Do you want her to appear more often here on the channel? Leave a like, your comment, and of course subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos like this. Bye!